And we're live. Look at this. We have Monica Hamburg and Miss Kinky Karma joining us here right now for the Love Doctor live stream. Hello. How are you doing? Look at the beautiful smiles. Everybody's happy today. It's a long weekend. You don't have to work tomorrow, so we can drink. Drink. I haven't even poured my drink. If you're watching, say hi. Say where you're watching from. My lovely guest here. How has your week or weekend been?
It's been good. Getting ready for my birthday weekend next week. But fun fact, my birthday was actually this Wednesday. So hey.
Well, happy birthday and happy extended birthday.
Thank you.
It should always be our birthday.
I am old enough to be crucified.
Oh, I'm older than being crucified. That's a good way of looking at it.
No, but it's a religious joke for people who don't know, because Christ was actually crucified at 33 years old.
Right.
So
This is the year you had to have everything done by. Kaya Coco saying, hi, beautiful people from hell. Oh, okay. Happy belated born day. There we are.
thank you.
I like to call it the anniversary of The Great Escape.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think we could call it that, because sometimes, it's so great because, God, when he made my mold, he broke the mold, but I don't know if he wanted to break the mold with me in it or not. But I escaped. Here we go.
I'm sorry for anything that I might have, any trauma I might be reminding your mother of at this point in time.
No, she wanted to kick me out. I was supposed to be born in September, and I didn't want to leave until October 6th. So I was evicted.
We've got a hello from Scarborough. Happy Thanksgiving and belated birthday, Ruro Shen. There we go. Happy Thanksgiving. Canadian Thanksgiving is more about the harvest. It's not quite got the same connotations as the American Thanksgiving, but we're here now, and we need to acknowledge where we're at.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that was a dead quiet moment. Monica, how have you been? How was your weekend so far?
I'm good. I'm recovering from a bunch of stuff. And so I spent yesterday lying in bed and sleeping and watching repeats of, which is the only way to do it, Third Rock from the Sun. So that was a wonderful weekend because I love that show and it makes me happy.
Nice.
Jay Gordon Levitt as a child was still pretty awesome.
He was so... I don't like children, and I remember thinking how adorable he was. There's something so he was so preternaturally talented, and then there's yeah, I know. And then John Lithgow is one of my favorite actors, so I just watch him do it. Everybody on that show is so funny and weird, and I'm so into it. So yeah, it just made me happy. I was like, this is perfect.
Is anyone familiar with? It was a big budget film, and they expected a lot out of it, but the main bad guy was played by John Lithgow. It was Buckaroo Banzai and Adventures Across the Eighth Dimension.
Oh, that's a very famous movie. One of my friends loves, but I've not seen it.
It starred Peter Weller. It also had in it Jeff Goldblum. Incredible cast. But it was just so over the top, like teenage boy fantasy. Like it was, he was a rocket scientist, brain surgeon, musician.
That's a lot.
Yeah, that is a lot. And of course, I think he was turning down dates with supermodels or whatever.
Of course he did.
The entire thing. So anyway,
I'm always turning down dates with supermodels. It's just you have to.
It's the norm.
Yeah.
And his band, everybody in his band had to have a PhD, at least one.
Okay, so, at least one.
That just sounds so obnoxious. That just sounds like such a pompous, annoying person that you would punch in university.
Most definitely. And this is probably the most pompous thing about it is in the end credits, they advertise the upcoming next film with the character.
Of course.
So they sealed its doom.
I
think it was Buckaroo Banzai versus the Crime League. Yeah, it's just extra dimensional aliens first, Crime League second. There's all right. Sorry, I like the bad films. Forgive me for liking the bad films.
It's okay.
No, it's fine. Yeah,
Some
we
bad
get it.
films are so bad that it's actually quite good.
Yes.
the
Love
point
that.
of them. That's and also it's like they're usually rewatchable because you want to watch them over and over again because you find out new things, and that means that they're great for dates and making out during.
Oh
Right?
yeah.
It's the type of movies that you don't watch. You put on, but you know you're not gonna watch them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
you
that's
do in bits and pieces, and then when you
Yeah.
go, oh, that makes so much sense now that he said that later in the film because he's saying this now.
Oh, I
It's
never
just
forget. I never figure out anything the second time around. I watch it because I missed everything the first time because I
ah,
have such a bad attention span. So the second time is really like, oh, okay, that's what the movie was.
Well, if you want a movie that you could watch over and over and be completely brain fucked, Cloud Atlas is actually one of the movies that I definitely recommend.
That's the one about Atlas, like it's based on Atlas Shrugged, right? Or no?
no,
It's actually
Oh,
a retelling of. It's very. It's all different stories about different people in different lives and different timelines. But
oh,
as the movie progressed, you understand that all of those timelines are interconnected, and all of those actors are the same.
oh, that's so
So
cool.
it's really really cool because like there's
Okay.
Tom Hanks and there's Halle Berry, and they
Hugh Grant,
play Hugh Grant, and they all play different characters in all the different timelines. Um,
the
and it takes you
Wachowskis.
yeah, there's a lot of great people that are there, but what's really fun is that you realize who they were after watching it a couple of times. Actually, it's really cool.
Interesting.
The
Oh, that
the
sounds really cool.
the Wachowski siblings.
Yeah.
Basically, it was their vanity project post Matrix.
Yes.
If anything, it might have just been too complicated to see in one film,
Okay.
and it also got called out because of Yellowface.
Yeah,
But
there
but
is.
Oh.
but they also had Asian actors playing whites as well.
Yeah,
They basically because uh, I'm not sure if it's supposed to be the same spirit like in the different timelines
it
being
makes
played by
sense
the
in the
same
book.
person. It
It makes sense because I've read the book as well because
okay.
it's based on a book and it's actually very. I find that I mean the book is huge. They did a good retelling and they really respected the book. So I understand people that says that yes there is yellow face, but I also understand the concept and to be loyal to the book per se. And again, like you also have people of Asian descent that was also playing white people because it's part of their spiritual it's part of the story. Again, just like I think it's also the Wachowski that did V for Vendetta, where for a long while you don't have any characters of color, but then you kind of realize that it's a dystopian universe and it's normal that like there's no one like that when you go and progress the story because I'm not spoiling you what happened. So, and I think that's one of the main reasons why I love Cloud Atlas so much. It's because of that, because those things that yes can be called out actually makes sense in the movie.
I agree. I'm sometimes a little nervous when things get called out because, for example, the new Marvel movie that came out, Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
uh, Aquafina got called out for using a black accent, but she refuses to do an Asian accent, and her accent is she grew up in Queens, so
Mm-hmm.
people that's the way she talks normally, and so people were trying to tear her down for sounding like she sounds, which
Oh wow.
It's
yeah.
complex. That's the
Yeah.
thing. Because I mean, I completely understand Aquafina's status, but when I look at like the Iggy Azaleas or the Ariana Grandes of this world, and I'm like, well, this is why, guys, you cannot have nice things, is because you condone those types of people. So it's always, yeah, I personally I find that it's something that's very complex. I feel bad for Aquafina, but it's
She
unfortunately
weathered it
that's the
very well.
situation we have.
She weathered it very well, and they handled it pretty decently as
Yeah.
well. So, uh, I mean, I all power to her. I think she's an amazingly funny comedic actor, and I really enjoy. I would love to see her share a screen with a Montreal actor who's doing very well now. He's based out of Toronto. He's on Things We Do in the Shadows. He was a vampire hunter. Now he's a vampire. Christopher Sanford.
Oh, he's lovely.
or Sandiford. Sorry, Sandiford.
He's lovely. I didn't realize he was on that show. Good for him.
Yeah.
He's
So
lovely.
and he's got an American sitcom that's going to be coming out that's filmed in Australia.
Oh, so cool.
So yeah. So it's a local man does good.
Yeah, that's
All right,
good.
but-
Also, nice human, like a talented, good human that's doing well. We love to see it, Like that's so good.
All right, why are we here? Are we here to discuss films? No,
Yes,
we're,
I thought
we're
that
here to
was-
answer
No.
people's questions about love, sex, and relationships. So on the bottom, there's a little thing so you can ask your questions about love, sex, and relationship. Oh no, there's a problem with the thing running on the
There's a
bottom. Let me fix.
typo.
Oh,
Damn it, the manager that did not write the right things.
Just
burn him at the stake.
Yes.
no,
With a
all
bit
the
of
checks come in
bacon
his
and-
name. I can't burn him at the stake. So if
Well,
you
roast
have
him then.
true,
Yeah, just
If-
maybe
if-
toast it. A little light.
toast, a little light toasted. That's. If anyone has any questions, you can go here, which is Slido or sli.do, and the event code is TLD76 for anonymous questions, or you could just write your questions in the chat, and they don't have to be anonymous. So it all depends on how you feel about asking the question. Yeah, that's right. Aurora Shen is correcting us there. To make sure that it is done right. And I think it's time for us to start. Are we ready to start here with your questions? Yeah. All right. The first question here that we have is we start at the bottom. I've been talking casually with a guy who checks all my boxes, but has way too many tattoos for my liking, and it's holding me back. Am I being shallow? First person to be answering that question is going to be Miss Kinky Karma.
Well, I mean, I do have a few tattoos myself, but no, I don't think it's shallow. I am one to believe that love is not blind. And you can have people that are going to check all the boxes that you want, and you're not going to have a connection, just like you could have a connection with all the red flags of the world. However, the question that you should ask yourself is that how much does this bother you? Does it bother you in a sense that, you wouldn't necessarily date them, but you'd give them a shot? Or it's a complete turn off, like there's nothing that you can do. Yes, you could have an emotional connection, but that's pretty much it. So ask yourself exactly how much would that bother you to live with? Because I mean, tattoos are kind of permanent.
Just kind of permanent. As another tattoo comes on screen, Monica.
I pretty much have the same thoughts as Kinky Karma. I do think if it's something that's going to disgust you, you really can't get past it. It's absolutely it's a no, then that's your choice, and you shouldn't waste anyone's time, including your own, by trying to force yourself to be into it. But if you think it's something where maybe you'd change your mind if you met up with this person because she said or they said they're talking to this person, so they've been chatting online, maybe they'd have a lot of chemistry in person, maybe they would have no chemistry in person, it would be a moot point. But yeah, if you're cool with it, not cool with it, if you think you could potentially get over it, then I'd say meet in person.
Yeah.
All right. I just to go back to the question here, it does say they've been talking casually. They don't say whether or not it's online or not. I agree with a lot of what you all have said, but I'm also a big believer of intuition. Now, if you feel like if you're seeing someone and they're checking off a lot of your boxes, but you feel something's a little off, that might be because there's something you can't recognize mentally or put a finger on is off. So I would encourage you to check it out and see if it is something that you can move past. If you have a prejudice against tattooed people, then it might be a time to kind of confront that and figure out the why of it. Why you meet this person who seems to be so right for you otherwise. But you need to sort of work with them and work on yourself to understand why this is such a big thing for you. There's some people who will go, I'm a butt man, or I'm a breast man, or I can't judge whether or not I'll like a man until I see him in gray sweatpants, right? These these are things, and that's not so much an attraction to a person, that's attraction to a body part, which is an immediate and visceral attraction, but it shouldn't be the basis of a relationship because bodies change. I mean, tattoos are forever, but bodies change.
I would also say the confronting yourself or confronting those feelings if you don't like tattoos. I think that is something to address because outside of, I would say, my age category where people may not be tattooed, most people under 34 or around that age are going to have tattoos, and so you're really like limiting your dating pool if it's something you're super against, and I'd kind of ask yourself why. But again, you have the right to decide anything is a no-go. That's your choice.
Yeah.
See, I'm sort of in a weird age because I grew up with parents who had tattoos.
Oh,
And
interesting. Okay.
For me, they're not a big rebel thing or a super cool thing to
Oh,
have.
okay.
Yeah, no, me, I was born in the era where my mom was not happy when I had my tattoos. I had to hide the first tattoo that I have. Mind you, I have 10. But yeah, the first one I had to hide because I was genuinely scared of my mother's reaction because they were considered as something a proper respectful lady would have. Thank God I am not a respectful person, but hey, that's
Well,
besides the
I think it
point.
might be a cultural thing for my family as well, to have the tattoos because I come from a naval culture, and so it is traditional. A lot of people who get tattoos now are trying to go for the old Navy feel. Well, that old Navy feel came from a place. So I'm not calling cultural appropriation just because somebody has some sparrows and they haven't logged their 5,000, miles at sea. So let's be clear on that. We have a question that has come in. Okay,
Ooh.
question and totally asking for a friend.
Lol.
Okay.
Sure, we'll go with that.
Why do romantic partners always come back, and how do you deal with that?
Ugh, damn.
All
Okay.
right. I guess I'm in the hot seat for that
Oh,
one.
yes, you are.
They don't always. First off, absolutes. Never use absolutes. That was a funny line. I'm just going to leave that set for a bit. But the thing is there's people who don't recognize how good something is until it's gone. But if they couldn't treat you with that level of respect while you were with them, and then they view that you would be pining for them when they step back into your life, it doesn't show you the level of respect that you deserve. That's kind of why that happens. Why people have that. Why they try to revisit old relationships. It's not a good thing. I don't think it's a good thing for the person who's revisiting, and it's definitely not a good thing for the person being revisited. There's a time and a place where people will go, oh, you know what, I couldn't have done any better than I did, even though I tried to see if I could. That's not a healthy way to be viewed by your partner. Kinky.
I'm actually gonna go all the way south. One of the reasons why romantic partners, and I'm not even gonna talk about romantic. I'm also gonna talk about friendship. Sometimes they go back not because of the person, but the idea of who that person should be, or what their relationship should be, or what their relationship was. So it's basically just an idea or a dream that you come back to. They're not coming back for you, and you're not coming back for the person. If it's the other way around and you're the one that's doing that, basically you're going back to a place in time where you felt comfortable, even though it wasn't necessarily the best times or the best feelings or the best relationship, but it did brought you comfort. It did bring you something positive that you do not have anymore, and you have yet replaced with either someone else or within yourself. Just like also romantic partners can come back because they still have this idea of what you guys should be and how you guys should be together. But it's not about you, it's about dreams. And when you understand that, you have a lot of compassion for yourself and for the other person, but also it kind of helps you to decide if you want to move on or not.
It's like the idea of the relationship is what they're referring to.
Yeah.
I like
Monica.
all those. I like all those. I would first say like Kara. Kara is the person with the question. Is that
Kaya.
Okay, yeah.
Kaya? Kaya? Kaya, I would ask either how lucky or how unlucky you are that these people keep coming back into your life, because I've always been in situations where the people I really wanted to come back into my life didn't, and the people that I didn't want to come back to my life did. So I'm like, do you get the ones that you still want? Because I'm always over them by the time they come back. So I would say why is it's pretty similar. I think that. I think they looked and didn't find anyone that made them feel the way that they did when they were with you, and whatever respect that is, whether or not, they love the way that you treated them, or they love just the feeling of being with you, or they're desperate. There's like a lot of reasons why they have romanticized the relationship when they clearly were not as happy in it, or at least they had like feelers out to get out when they did. That's that's I'm theorizing, but I'm like they're you guys are broken up for a reason. So I guess my point is why do they do that is probably because they're looking back and thinking this seemed better. But I always think it's a terrible idea. Just anybody I've seen who's gotten back together with someone who's like come back and all these romantic things and they love you so much and you're the right person, and it's like all God, what is that terrible movie? I made a mistake, and I'm trying to Jerry. It's all Jerry Maguire, which I think is like the worst message next to Pretty Woman I have ever seen. But it's
rom-coms in general, if you ask me.
Rom-coms. But I think that like that is always unhealthy, because I think they also themselves don't really know what they're looking for, and then have romanticized the relationship to such an extent that when they're in it again, they're like, oh, this wasn't as perfect as my dream, and now I don't know what I want. So I think it's very dangerous, I guess, is what I'm kind of circling around to say.
A point to add to that is the fact that if they were okay with disposing with you once, and then it comes back and it gets hard again, they go, oh, okay, I made the right decision the first time, and that can come up. Kaya has a follow-up. Do you find people sometimes leave relationships that are too healthy? I'm going to do a quick poll among, I'm going to ask the viewers as well, just with a yes or no, but I'm going to ask the panelists here. Have you ever left a relationship because you thought the person was either too good for you, or that you were somehow impairing their growth?
Honestly, yeah.
Yeah, me
But
too. I mean,
it was a friendship. Yeah, in my end, it was a friendship, and I realized that we weren't good for each other, and we stunt each other. And it's so funny because like years later, we're starting to reconnect again, but we're in two completely different places than where we were. I mean, back then we were young, and we didn't have no idea what we wanted to do. So a good like 5 years later, we are starting to go back again to talk to each other and to kind of reconnect. It's not easy. It's not the easiest thing. But I mean, at the end of the day, I think that's what we both needed to grow up.
And for the viewers watching, just say yes or no into the chat if you have. Monica, did you have anything to add on that?
Yeah, I mean, I also have felt like, okay, it's we're going to be better off not enabling each other. We're going to be healthier if we separate, but also when I've broken up with someone and I've said, oh, like, I think you're too nice, or I think whatever, that isn't what I mean. It's just the best way that I had to express that, because some people actually, like, I have been in relationships with people who are genuinely decent humans. So when I say they're too nice, it's not they're playing the nice guy role. It's that the energy between us wasn't like strong enough. Whatever that is, it was not passionate enough. It wasn't like interesting enough sexually for us to really make a go of it. And there's other reasons where it's like there might be I'm too aggressive, I'd be too aggressive in comparison to their personality. So but the too healthy term, I'm suspect of the claim that something could be too healthy and you'd leave it. You'd have to be in a really destructive place, and if they're that person, it'd be hard for me to believe that they'd then realize, oh, I'm a fuck up. You know, like people don't often realize.
Don Zanklin is saying no. I personally dated with somebody who I thought had amazing potential, and I felt I was holding them back, and so I did end a relationship because of that. Kaya is saying yes, and he got his PhD to prove he was to confirm he was too good for me. Don't take it
He
that
sounds
way.
bad. He sounds
good.
terrible.
Well, good for him then. If that's what he need, if spending that much money helps him sleep better at night, then hey, kudos to you.
Also, like, what a fascinating thing. It's like imagine getting a degree and then being like, see, I told you, I am too good for you. Like,
please, I got my high school diploma out of spite. I completely understand his energy. Do not get me wrong.
It's also, they're saying they dumped that person because they thought they were holding that person back, and they proved it by getting the PhD.
Oh, I'm sorry, I misunderstood. I thought that. I'm sorry.
That,
I
that,
thought
that they were being a dick. I understand.
that's what I understood. But I'm primed to believe people are being dicks. I'm sorry.
Welcome to the show of hope. This is the Love Doctor live stream. Answering your questions about love, sex, and relationships. The next question we have here is: do you think speed dating events will come back eventually? Monica.
Do I want them to come back? Yeah, I think speed dating. I don't know if they ever really went. I think they did them online. I'm sure they still exist.
Sorry for cutting you off. Go ahead.
Yeah. No, that's you can probably confirm that they did go online. So yeah, I think they probably went online. I would say I didn't. Just for the record, I've never participated in a speed dating, but I did co-host a speed dating event. Like I helped somebody, or I guess I assisted them, and seeing the inner workings was really scary. Like it was peeling back the curtain was terrifying. I'm like, this is way worse than when you realize like that everything in theater isn't magic. It's just so I was like, oh, okay, this is a good lesson, because what it was is the dynamics were like a lot of women that had their act together and a lot of guys that didn't. And the guys were still very entitled. so I just kind of fascinated by that. But anyway, I don't know. I'm prejudiced again. And my friend has a show called Lesbian Speed Date from Hell. So I'm maybe I'm a little prejudiced against the speed dating concept.
Monica, I think I said everything. I also had been asked to help organize a speed date event. And I did not do it. I don't think that they've gone away. I think they have been online. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Just a second. Kaya is saying, thank you for your answers.
No worries.
And Kinky.
Yeah, there is actually. It's online, and I have to do a shout out to my community because we lit. But I don't know if you guys ever heard on the French side of the Quebec, there's something called Occupation Double, which is a dating show basically with a bunch of young people like thrown in somewhere, and they're like supposed to like make a couple and become a relationship, and the winner, all of it wins like a house and a condo and whatnot. But one young guy, whose name is Ty in my community, decided to do a hood version of it that's called Occupation Hood on Instagram. And it's literally speed dating via live feeds on Insta every Sunday. And it was actually so great that I think it broke the internet. Like it broke Instagram because they had over like 100,000 followers like at once during that live.
So, like, when you say it's done through Instagram, do people like post like their info and then it just keeps posting and?
Yeah, it's like live, and then you're able to see the guy like trying to date the girl, and like it's honestly like the creativity of that guy was so good. I think in the French Dad, he even got like he got discovered by La Presse. He was colonized by La Presse and all of that. Yeah, he got Christopher Columbus literally. But yeah,
happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
Happy Thanksgiving. But yeah, he had over 100,000 people on his feed at once, and that's a lot more compared to a lot of the shows, the normal shows.
I want to say hello to all 7 viewers at this time.
Hi.
Thank you. Make sure you hit like and share.
Sorry.
Because that means a big thing. Oh, we just went up 8. Oh,
hey.
Oh, there we go. We did it.
Hey.
That sounds like a really awesome thing. That
Yeah,
show.
it was an awesome show. It was during the pandemic. I think they still do it. But I don't think it has as much as the hype as it was before, because I mean it blew and like everybody knows it's a lot more popular. But yeah, that was the thing that was going on during the pandemic.
That's awesome.
I'm surprised that that not one of the Quebec TV stations has decided to pick it up.
Well, like I said, it's a guy from my community. So no shade. I'm just gonna drink my beer.
Just
my business.
no comment. Just over here.
Just facts.
Just facts. I think they're idiots if they don't pick it up. Danny de Belfay, hello, loves. Hello, beautiful.
Hello.
We have to have you back on this show for sure. I'd like to see you do a live show with me sometime, Danny. So I'm putting that out there. I want to thank you for being the amazing person you are. And are we ready for the next question?
Sure. Yes.
All right. I accidentally sent a pic meant for my significant other to my sister-in-law, I believe. Sister-in-law. I called right away to apologize. She told me it was all right and deleted the photo. Do we sweep this under the rug, or do we need to tell my brother?
Tell your brother.
And just hold it. I would love to do that. All right. I would love to do that. I believe that might be for the call for seeing Felicia Rain live, or at least back here. So we will talk we'll talk after the show, Felicia. So yeah, do we need to sweep this under the rug, or do we need to tell my brother?
Sweep. It's a normal thing.
The first person in the hot seat is Kinky.
What is your relationship with your brother? Because I mean, the relationship I had with mine is that I would be the type of person that would bring this up completely casually during Christmas dinner, just to be like, "Hey, your girlfriend's talking about unwrapping gifts. Your girlfriend's pretty cool naked." But then again, I always say, I am not a nice person, not even to my brother. But depending on the relationship that you have with your sister-in-law and with your brother, it could be a good idea to sweep it under the rug, or you can make a joke out of it. Because I mean, perhaps you didn't. Perhaps you unconsciously wanted to send it to your sister-in-law. You don't know, or you could instill that inception to your brother.
All right. All right. Pornhub is probably going to start following us now.
Oh, good! Finally!
Yay!
Can you be my sponsor, Pornhub? Anyway, okay, we'll talk later. Pornhub.
This is Monica Hamburg of Pornomedy fame. So pornomedy.net for anyone who wants to get some juicy humor. Is that juicy
humor?
Juicy laughs.
Sure. Juicy laughs. I don't know about that. That's like moist laughs. That's just an awkward. Ugh.
So back to the question at hand.
All right. So I have no siblings. So I don't have like a visceral understanding of what it's like to have siblings or the dynamics or any of it. So, but from just what I know from people I'm friends with, I'm like, that sounds like just a thing you just don't mention again. Like, just don't tell your brother. She says it's cool. It's a very normal mistake, and just for entertainment's sake. So my ex and I, when we were together, I sing stupid songs. I sing stupid songs about my bum. That is the thing I do, and I do it all the time. And so we had a song about putting mushrooms in your bum. And I'm he's in his 50s, and I was in my 40s. It's fine. Anyway, but he texted me one time with that song, only he sent it to a client. And and I just looked over at him, and we were just on the couch, with our phones, and then I see him go, and then he just ran around the house and like and it was the funniest thing I'd ever seen. So I just like to picture that maybe this girl did that when she realized she sent it to her sister-in-law. She's like, So he says he proofreads now a lot more before he presses send, which I've also learned a lot.
Everyone needs to proofread a little bit better.
We all do, yes.
All right. I'm the only one that hasn't answered this one yet.
Uh-huh.
You don't need to bring it up. First off, 10, 15 years down, you don't want this to be the discussion at Christmas dinner. I mean, it could be a good laugh at that point. I am very curious, though. I've loved both of your answers, but I am very curious that they're not asking about whether or not they should tell their significant other about the mix-up.
No, I know.
No.
Oh,
yeah.
yes, so I see.
Right? Because that person is also involved or implicated in it as well.
Then you say it during the Christmas dinner with everyone there, so you just say it once.
Well, but I'm assuming they sent a picture meant for their significant other, so it's like a nude of them, is my guess.
Yeah.
And if it's
Yes.
a nude of themselves, then they're not really their significant other kind of isn't involved in this. It was meant for them, but unless they like wrote the person's name on their breasts, like that might, then maybe they're really implicated. But
true. It's also it's for their significant other. I imagine in my mind they told their significant other, "Oh no, I've actually sent it to my sister-in-law.
Probably.
Here it is." And that was not a question about whether or not they do it. We do have a little bit of a request. Felicia's asking,
Yes,
can you please sing
course.
I Put Mushrooms in My Bum? I would love Beyonce to cover it.
okay, so it actually, for some reason, we decided it was a person named Nadine. So it goes something like, I put mushrooms in my bum, Nadine. Something like that. You could kind of, I've also added a little Beyonce edge to it if you want. So you're welcome to take it and go with what you want, like make it a hit. I would love to hear a hit like that.
She'll just take 10% of the proceeds and the royalties.
That's all I want. Yeah. What do you heard? Yeah. You're in, Danny. That's great. We could work on it together. I would love that.
They're dead. They're dead.
Well, you can't be dead because we've got to make a song.
Exactly. It's Zombie Idol all over again. We've got the next question is I'm dealing with poly relationships. How should someone handle +1 event invitations?
Oh wow.
You know what? I'm gonna pass, and I'm gonna give this one to Kinky first.
Oh my god, this reminds me of a certain birthday party. Okay, how do you handle +1? Depends on the relationships that you have, my friend, and depends on the metaphors that you have as well. I know that in my polycule and the primary relationship that I have with my partner, let's call him Mr. Duck. I get first dibs on the stuff that's going on, and if I'm not interested, then that's when he's able to ask someone else. However, I have seniority when it comes to family stuff, mainly because we're not completely out to his family and we're not out to mine, and I like to live my life a very drama-free life, including family. So that's how pretty much we're doing it. I know that my other partner, let's call him a beaver, also works like that. And I know that like if his wife doesn't want to, but he wants to do it, then I could actually be invited. But again, it depends on the social situations of where things are because his rules are different. I've had a situation where it really depends on the rules that you have, but I think the word to the wise is if you want to have two partners and you want to be public with those two partners, you need to make sure that both of those partners feel secure in both of their relationships, and they're both secure and good to deal with the gossip, because people are gonna talk, especially if you have your main relationship that's there for a while and you introduce a new person in your +1. Best believe someone will go into your girlfriend's DM or your partner's DM and ask them what the fuck is going on. So always make sure that if you want to do that, like both parties know and both parties are ready to deal with the consequences of that. For more, like my page.
You know what? I don't think it can be said any better. It
100%.
always depends on how out the relationship is, and if it's completely out, you can always ask, can we make that a +2?
Yeah, but there are some cases where the two partners don't get along. And you don't want to have a +2. Trust me, I know.
Or the event is like, well, no, we don't have enough room. We're asking for one person. I appreciate and love your relationships, but I'm not a part of this. So like, I don't want to pay for that extra dish.
What she said.
Yep. No, I'm just saying it's an option. Because come on, let's face it, Uncle Frank might have the option of a +1, but he's not bringing anyone.
Yeah, but again, I mean,
wants to?
I remember like one of my friends. She's currently she's currently in a relationship with her nesting partner, and he has another girl, and it's they had better days, and they were talking about the Christmas party, and she's like, I don't know what's going on. Like, do you even bring two partners at a Christmas party? And I'm like, well, my ex brought me and my boyfriend to her Christmas party, and I still am invited to her house. So, hey, but I'm like, the real question that you need to ask yourself is, well, how are you going to handle the ride over there if you do not appreciate that person? So that's why I'm very wary with +2s and forcing the other person down the other person's throat.
Yes. It's never to be about force. It's always about what is comfortable with the people. Sorry, Monica, we cut you off.
No, I
there.
literally
Yeah,
like
sorry about
honestly completely defer to Miss Kinky Karma. My experience is like slightly in open relationships, but not mature enough to handle poly, and so I don't know. I'm like I know like everything only in theory. So I'm like that. Everything you said, that sounds super mature. I'm in. Let's do that.
Been there, done that. Got the
Yes.
traumas to prove it.
There we go. Christopher is chiming in with a slanche.
Oh, hello.
Raise a drink.
Drink,
There
yes.
you go.
Water.
Beer. Today is a beer day.
And of course, I'm drinking the Madison Park gin, and they still do not sponsor me, the bastards.
You bastards.
But it's too good to kind of give up for long. All right, we have some more questions.
Yeah.
Let's do
Next
it.
question we have is: do you find alternative piercings, nipples, tongues, eyebrows, penis, etc., attractive to you? This Monica is as I've seen their main partner shirtless.
You've seen my main partner's surface? Is that what you said?
I said shirtless.
Shirtless, yes. So yeah, when I first saw my main partner shirtless, which was before we were involved, so that tells you a lot about my lifestyle, of course. And I was definitely, the first thing I thought is like someone who has pierced nipples is a little bit kinky, at least. And I love that. that is 100% what I'm into. So that for me is obviously very intriguing. But there's range. The penis thing, no, only because I've had I've had enough stuff not work down there that I'm like, I do not want to risk any injury. So anything that could get caught, I'm like, please no. So that wouldn't work for me. But yeah, that's how I feel about the piercing thing.
Boom. And sorry, Christopher's dropped in another comment. We're having a post-birthday lasagna. Happy birthday, Bashak.
Yes.
From the coach. We should have another barbecue. Agreed, but the season is getting short for that. So Kinky.
I had a tongue ring not too long ago, and I know the pleasures of having that and all the little things and all the little barbells that vibrate. So, I mean, if you have a tongue ring, I mean, I like you. Nipples, I find that very interesting as well. I've considered piercing my nipples. So I think the first question I'll ask you after being completely turned on is, did it hurt? And penis, I'm sorry, this looks to me like a yeast infection walking, so I am not putting that nowhere. I mean, I like you a lot, it's cute, but like Monica said, like my kitty cat is she's very finicky, and yeah, no. It's a no for me, Simon.
All right. I'm going to as a pierceless person here. I'm going to say I'm more attracted to the person, though the attitude necessary for someone to get a piercing. I have dated people who have been pierced. I have been attracted to people who are pierced. It's definitely not a turnoff for me, though I do risk chipping my teeth at times. Especially, barbell on the hood. But there are, I just want to speak in defense of the Prince Albert at this point in time. because
Did you think you'd ever say that sentence? Is that
I never think about what I'm about to say ever,
Okay, fair.
which is what gets me into trouble, which can be a lot of fun. Prince Albert, proper penis piercings don't have any sharp things sticking out, or at least if you are going to be having intercourse, any sharp things should be removed. The Prince Albert is supposed to be flush and rounded. So
Still.
that, and with the exception of the little like the sounding rod comes in, and there's the little like a fiddlehead type ending that comes out the urethra. Again, proper cleanliness with any kind of piercing, whether it's for penis havers or vagina havers. Cleaning is mandatory as well. But the history of the Prince Albert, do you know why it's called a Prince Albert?
Because Victoria didn't want her prince to have a boner when she's not here.
You're very close. It was because of the naval uniform at the time was very voluminous, very baggy pants. And so it was a more common among the sailors. And the reason for the ring is they could put a leather cord around it and around their thigh. So if they began to get an erection, it would hold it in place. It wouldn't make an embarrassment of a tent in the baggy pants.
Interesting.
That is one of the legit reasons as to why the Prince Albert was a sailor, and that's why he had that, or that's why it's named after him. Sorry, I'm not insinuating that he had it. They just named the thing after him. So.
No, it's more of the seal because I mean, the vagina is a pH very sensitive, has a sensitive pH. Depending on what you put in, it can actually. I'm talking about yeast, but also bacterial infections, and that's why. I mean, I am prone to both. I mean, I look at something and like my pussy is like, yo, the pH is out. I'm sorry, it doesn't work. So that's one of the main reasons why I'm not really attracted to it. I mean, I'm sure that it brings another types of sensation, but again, steel and metal can actually change the pH of a vagina. So I'm like, nah.
Yeah, it's just not worth it. You know, it's like you got to be the hottest thing in the world for me to risk that. It's already
You
a
have
problem.
other toys, and I have a mouth, so we're good.
Yeah, exactly.
Boom. All right. So that has been said. We have the next question is lined up. I'm in a monogamous relationship with a vanilla conservative partner with less experience than I've got, but I love them. It jumped on me. How do I tell them I want to go polyamorous because I need a more satisfying sexual connection? Oh, shite. I'm in the hot seat. This is a difficult question.
Difficult question.
Is it?
Honesty is of course the best way to do that. Coaching it is very important, but you don't want to be manipulative. You do want to say how much you love the person, but let them know that you are missing something, that you feel you need something else in the relationship. And bringing this up can potentially ruin this relationship and the relationship that you have now. Is it such a strong desire for you? You have to balance that. Is it such a strong desire for you that it will be worth risking ending this relationship you have? You cannot make someone feel okay with something that they're not okay with. You can make the effort to educate them and see how they feel afterwards. And you need to remain to be that loving partner that you say you are. That if you love them, if you respect them, you can't act on it until they say it's okay or you end the relationship. That is, I think, the only way to be able to deal with that. If you're missing something, I say some people are okay with different layers of polyamory. There's polyamory, but there's open relationships. But you need to make sure that you address it, because there is going to be a buildup of resentment if somebody is not okay with it. And that can be more damaging to the relationship. And the longer that goes on, the more damaging it will be. That's my sense on it. Monica.
So Kinky Karma had a very immediate reaction to like it's a difficult. Yeah, I mean it's not difficult to have to spell that out, right? I would like to have a different kind of sexual connection with somebody that you and I don't have. But it's also very fraught, as the Love Doctor mentioned, because I think that that's the thing, is that you can't just assume that the person's going to hear, oh, I don't think our sexual connection's that great. I want to fuck somebody else, and be like, yeah, that's I'm cool with that. That feels real good inside. So I think that this is a really complicated situation where you may not get what you want ultimately out of this. You may lose the person because you really need that sexual connection with someone that's different, or you may, choose temporarily to just go with them sexually. But I think it's so fraught. I think it's so potentially disastrous, and I wish I could say differently. I'm probably biased by my own experience, but this doesn't usually have a happy ending. Yeah. You cannot turn someone who's not kinky into someone kinky, as far as I'm concerned, and you can't magically tell them that they're not kinky and it's not working for you and make them feel okay about it. I don't know. That's how I feel.
All right. First things first, there is a huge difference between polyamory and ethical non-monogamy. You can be in an open relationship without being polyamorous, just like you could be monogamous and be a polyamorous person. It's really, really important to make the difference, especially if you want to open that conversation, for the simple fact that if the other person wants to do some research on its own, you need to have the right terms. So in order to have the right terms, the first question that you need to ask yourself is, what exactly are you looking for? If you're just looking for sex, which is whether it's with sex workers or a fuck friend or whatever, there's no emotional connection, then instead of saying that you want to be in a polyamorous relationship, simply ask that you would like to work on the boundaries of the relationships that you have. Because it is more common than we think that a couple is closed and monogamous, but you're allowed to have a one-night stand once in a while. That, my love, is called an open relationship, and that is okay. So the first question you need to ask yourself is it only sexual? And if it is, make sure that you have the right terminology for it. The second option is, I do not think asking a question can ruin a relationship. If anything, I have the traumas to prove it. The best thing to do is always to be transparent with everybody. So asking the question doesn't necessarily will say that they'll say yes or no, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to be miserable either, because you're not miserable right now. You just like to have a bonus from the way I'm having the question. So I'm not going to be a doomsday person saying that your relationship is not going to work. It's just that if you're open about it and you're clear, you might not necessarily have a yes answer now, but at least having the valves of communication open can actually help the other person and you to have exactly what you want. I mean, I remember when we first opened my relationship, I didn't really want to do that because I had issues of my own that had no relations with how I love people. It's just that I was taken aback. I had things that I need to work on. But my boyfriend was completely faithful. He really went at my pace, and things were open and things were clear. And as the year progressed, and that's how we went in. And now I don't ever want to go back into a monogamous relationship. But guys, you need to be clear and you need to be transparent about it. And again, from what I'm seeing, it's not that you need that in your life. It's just a bonus that you'd like. And asking for a bonus doesn't break relationships. If anything, it can make them stronger. If anything, they get asked questions. You never know.
I do want to point out that they do refer to the person as vanilla and conservative, which is why I imagine that there would be resistance if it was brought up. Again, proper terminology is definitely correct. I touched on the fact that I thought that they were looking more for an open relationship because of how they worded their question. They said, because I need a more satisfying sexual connection. So these are the phrases that are in there, but Kinky is completely right. You need to make sure that you're using the proper terminology, and that you're on the same board when you're explaining it to your partner. But there is a chance when you're dealing with somebody who is vanilla and conservative, they might surprise you, but they might also be going, but no, you're supposed to be the white picket fence person with me. There's not supposed to be anyone else. And yes, you can be polyamorous emotionally, but monogamous physically as well. And that sounds like that's what you are currently, for the person who's writing the question. I'm not even sure that they are.
I don't think so. I don't think they're
Polyamorous.
polyamorous. They're only looking for sexual connection.
True.
Hence me saying, hey, there are monogamous relationships that accepts one night stands.
Yes.
And you can have a good sexual connections with one night stands from what I understand. Because I never had them. But anyways. So yeah, discuss and see what you want. And again, you will never know. Perhaps you will have an don't ask, don't tell relationship where you're able to have one night stands. Because usually the couples that have one night stands and it's okay, it's a don't ask, don't tell, and make sure that it doesn't come out, and like be on your merry way, and I'll be happy. You never know unless you ask. And usually
Again,
conservative
I
people,
think
that's usually what
they
do.
need to educate themselves as well, and also question what it is that they want from this new openness.
Exactly.
All right, next question that we have is, I got a new partner during the pandemic and she is kinky. Oh, kinky. Somebody started dating you new? Oh, no, not how it's worked.
My secret is out, guys.
Can I use old sex toys from my past kinky relationships, or do I need to buy new ones? I can't afford to replace them, but if I don't have to. Kinky, you have the hot seat first.
Child, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. unless it is a kinky relationship, and I know that there are some dynamics where with cuff and collars that you cannot use an old cuff and an old collar from an old submissive to a new submissive. And in this case, in this types of dynamic, please, yes, change your toys and all of that. But I mean, if she's kinky, but not in that sense. I mean, if it ain't broke, don't break it. Don't throw it away, or at least ask her.
Sex toys that can't be cleaned shouldn't be used with the same partner twice. Other than that, if they are clean and the partner is okay with you using them, I see no problem. But I could be frugal. Monica.
Yeah, I have my own weird quirks about this, but yeah, just ask the person if they're okay with it, and we're assuming they're things that can be cleaned, because if they can't be cleaned, then definitely not at all, blanket no. But yeah, ask the person, are they okay with this? And if they are, then you have no problems at all.
Mm-hmm.
Can I just do a little bit of a follow-up here on your thoughts on this? If a person got married and they used their grandmother's engagement ring with the first wife, and then they got a divorce and the first wife gave the ring back, can they use that engagement ring with a new partner? Because
I heard
it's in the family.
I heard it's bad luck.
For people who believe in luck, but that's...
But I mean, it is a family heirloom, so... If it's
So tell us in the chat whether or not you think it should reuse an engagement ring.
I would also say just ask the person, because some people would be really uncomfortable with that, and some people would be like, that's fine, I don't care. So it really depends if the person you're asking to marry you wants that. I'm not a marriage person, so
me neither.
So
All right. Yeah. Again, it comes down to, Kiki, you said it's easier to break a marriage than it is to break a mortgage. That's your famous line.
Yeah, a mortgage is deeper than the shackle of mortgage of a mortgage is like more is stronger than the shackle of weddings of marriage. So
That's so true.
I am happily bonded by mortgages.
All right, this next question is long. Let me and my poor eyesight have a little bit of time to get through it. My girlfriend and I, male, wanted to watch porn together as a couple because we heard it is healthy and keeps the spark alive. I'm into more story-driven porn, pizza delivery, pool cleaner, or plumber. But I found out my girlfriend is into some hardcore things, kidnapping, hostage, painful stuff. We couldn't agree on a movie, so we dropped it. But are these indicators of possible issues in the future? Monica.
I don't necessarily think they're indicators of possible issues because porn is fantasy largely. And especially when you talk about things like kidnapping and all those things, they're sort of about dynamics more than they are about the actual act. It's mostly like power play and things like that. I don't like stories in porn. I don't think that makes me incompatible with someone who does. They just have a better attention span than I do, and maybe don't get as hungry when they think about pizza as I do.
Or hungry the same way.
Yeah, no, I just like now I'm just focused on the pizza, like when's that arriving? So I don't think it's necessarily incompatible, but I do think the very fact that they're asking the question makes me concerned about what they think their girlfriend's kink implies, and whether or not they have an issue with what she's into in terms of porn, and then that should be discussed because I just feel like people do demonize those kind of interests in porn.
It also made me think about how much they question each other's fantasies before they actually started let's watch porn.
Yeah, that's interesting. That would be a conversation. What do you like? Is that not like a first date conversation? Because it's been mine. What do you like in porn?
It's mine, actually.
It's at least by second date.
Yeah.
By second date.
Actually, the first date is what they like. And like when I'm really good and comfortable, I ask them to send me their porn. And I actually got access to a drive once. I was so happy.
Ooh.
All right, we got a couple answers back from the question about reusing the engagement ring. Don Zanklin is saying, don't reuse the engagement ring. Maybe the new person doesn't even want a ring. Right. Richard Mullen is, no, it should be new as the person is new. So there we are. Those are our two answers. But going back, it is Kinky, your turn to answer the question about watching porn together.
I used to do that with my
She'll be back. She's still logged in. She's just muted herself.
Okay, so I do that. I used to do that with the duck actually, but we do have very different tastes when it comes to porn. But again, porn is fantasy. It's not because I like a good gangbang that necessarily I personally want to be gangbanged. So, yeah, just like Monica said, it really depends, however, on your own prejudice about porn and the prejudice that you have with your girlfriend watching it. Because I know that it's kind of a dichotomy and it's kind of hard to conciliate women liking porn that has a dynamic where they can be degradations and all of that. So I do understand the kind of twitch that you would have, like seeing what your girlfriend like, but it's definitely a subject that you guys can discuss.
And it's true. Some feminists like porn that doesn't expose feminist values. Mm-hmm. So that is a thing. You know what? I've dated somebody who likes different types of movies before. It's not a fundamental breaker in the relationship. It shouldn't be here either. But your reaction to what they like does seem to be add some questions and require a little bit of conversation between the two of you. I'd like to. Should I bring in religion in this?
Sure. If it's part of your personality and who you are, yeah. I mean, again, religion, as much as we love it or hate it,
all right,
it's part of a lot of people.
Here's a moment. There's have you ever seen an argument between people over which Harry Potter book is best?
Mm-hmm.
Right? You know, oh, it's the Half-Blood Prince. No, it's the Goblet of Fire, whatever it is. You know, they'll argue over that. That's what it's like for people arguing over. You know, that seems to be fairly innocuous. But if we're talking about another book series, say the Quran and the Bible, and the people get very upset in how they argue over those two things.
Mm-hmm.
And let's face it, they're both the same story. Just, you know, some minor differences. A lot of the same characters are reused. So it's, am I about to be canceled? All right. I'm just saying, you know, that is where some people are taking it too far. We get Terry saying
Prince, the Half Blood Prince. Like,
see,
we need to revisit our relationship. Like the Half Blood Prince.
there it is. So no one's blowing up any books over, blowing up any cars over, you know, that argument. So again, it different people, it can mean different things to different people about what you consume for entertainment or what you believe in. So, oh my goodness, we definitely, Goblet of Fire is the correct answer, and I'll fight anyone who says otherwise. We have started a new religious war here.
Half Blood Prince, man. Half Blood Prince.
There we are. It's how about Nothing by J.K. Rowling until
There's that too.
They learn to respect trans people. So let's leave it at that. But the thing is, different tastes in what you consume, be it in erotica, in arts, in entertainment, shouldn't be enough to destroy a relationship if it has enough of a foundation. But how you react to how a person feels about that. Like, there's some people have dated people who are followers of the Trump of cult, or the cult of Trump, right? And though they're not in that cult, they still manage to make that relationship work. So I don't think it's going to be possible issues in the future, the fact that you like different things, but I do think as Kinky mentioned, your reaction to it being as you have it might be indicators that there should be some more discussion going on. Mm-hmm. So that was a lot. I gave you enough time, Monica. You're back. Okay, good. Let's go on to the next. Oh, why am I'm in the hot seat for this one? There we are. What's the question? Wake up sex, afternoon delight, or midnight rendezvous? Do you have a preference? If we have a night owl here, anytime I have consent, I'm pretty much I like. Though I have to say I'm usually a little bit better in the morning. It's there's something with the taste of like sleepy skin to drop kisses on, you know, the holding in, and of course, as a man of a certain age, gotta love the morning wood to make me seem a little bit more powerful. Monica.
Oh, I hate morning sex. I hate it's so like, I mean, you know,
we're not partners, so it's safe, people. You can laugh. It's good.
It's so light and like it's just too much. Everything about it, and night is like just this perfect time, and everything's so sensual, and
your breath doesn't stink.
Your breath doesn't stink. You know. Oh my God, absolutely. Nighttime, morning is just like why no.
Yeah, no. Like
yeah.
No.
I'm so glad we're on the same page.
Like, no, like how. Like, the best way to fuck up my morning is morning sex, because usually like an orgasm has a lot of dopamine and it makes you tired. So that's why it's great to have it at night, because it's like a natural like sleeping aid, you know? And again, you're clean, you're good, you brush your teeth, you could do like some like innuendos in the beginning, you're not rushed and anything like that. Morning sex, it's like, no, like your breath stink, you don't know what happened, you're attacked by animals if you have animals sleeping in your bed, you have to go to work. No.
I like
All
that
right.
I had no idea where the animals came from all of a sudden because I didn't realize you may have animals. So it was just like, I'm like, yeah, sometimes I do feel like I've been attacked by animals when I wake up and bad sleep. And,
Like sometimes when people sleep with dogs in the same bed, it's like, nah, no. Like I've been fighting all night. Like there's no way. Like no.
I feel I need to do a little defensive work here. I'm a night owl as well, but I have very thick curtains because my window faces east, and I do not want to have that bright light coming in my room. So my room is dark pretty much all the time. Top of that, there's two things about morning breath: is get up, do a little bit of morning maintenance, brush your teeth, bring a water back in, and
Too much.
yeah,
And
it's a
besides,
lot of
I
work.
sleep with a retainer. Like
60,
you do not
69
want.
is 69 is also you're not having to worry about their morning breath.
You do not want me to do a 69 with my
No, that's
retainer, love. You do not want me to do that.
Also, I like some freshly showered, no, just no morning. No.
Like again, I have a retainer.
You have the right to your beliefs.
Yeah,
He's a
and
love
it's
doctor,
okay. I
but-
respect you. I still love you, but no.
Yeah, same.
All right, so we got two for the midnight rendezvous. No one went for afternoon delight.
Afternoon delight is fun between like this. That was actually one of the perks of working at home during the pandemic. Is like me and my partner were both working, and like when we have lunch at the same time, I'm like, hey,
That's so cute. I love it.
yeah,
Love
the
it.
perks of working at home.
We have a new question here. Is I can't tell when someone's flirting with me. How do I fix that?
You and me both. You and me both, man. We're on the same boat. Usually what I do is I literally ask them, or I ask them. I think one of my favorite pickup line is, if I didn't know any better, I'd say you'd flirt with me. And depending on the situation, they either like confirm or infirm the situation, or they get very anxious. They get very awkward, which is fun. I mean, I like making people awkward. Hence my name. But yeah, no, asking in a very cute way and using innuendos to ask is I think a good way to ask. To know.
But you know what? Some of my best friends, like female friends who had difficulty telling when people were, I'd have to, give them a nudge. That person's flirting with you, that kind of thing. Like my best friend was absolutely blind to it. I felt that it was almost an esteem issue as well. Like you don't want to assume everybody's flirting with you, but at the same time, if you're not viewing yourself as worthy for that attention, so maybe you should look at yourself and take stock of yourself, of how fabulous you are, and that way you can understand when people are actually flirting with you.
I am the narcissist of the three of us because I think everyone's always flirting with me. I do not think I've ever had the problem of not knowing if someone was flirting with me, because like I legitimately like, yeah, no, I think he was flirting with me. Oh, he's married.
Detail.
Or he's gay. No,
Detail.
with slight detail. Oh, that's true.
Details.
Yeah, no, I did have like what I thought was a very flirtatious conversation with like a senator or something, and like he's gay. But like not just because he's a senator, but because I later did find out that he's openly gay. So like, all right. But that's just so I don't know what this is like, but I also do have friends, and I do enjoy. Period. I have friends, period. Just in case you wondered.
Oh my God, you have friends?
I mean, it's real questionable when you actually like talk to me. This person actually has people that likes her, but
Girl, same. I don't understand why I have two partners that I have, like, and one that actually wants to slide in my DM. I don't understand. Like the girl that like
people willingly consensually spend time with me, and it's a mystery. But the friends I have where they say they don't know if people are flirting with them, I agree with the love doctor that if a lot of times it's that they don't feel that people could be attracted to them. So they don't notice when people are sending out signals. And I know it is the dynamics between the genders and everything is like, and how we behave and how much we give out. All of that is like, a mess. It's a hot mess because some people are very overt and some people aren't. But I am super with you, Miss Kinky Karma, to say like just are you flirting with me?
Yeah.
I get the sense that you're flirting with me, you know, like, and if they're not, you just gonna have to suck up the rejection for the moment, but at least you'll know.
It's a laughable moment. That
Yes,
was
it's fun.
brilliant advice from Kinky. I definitely agree with that. We had some comments coming in saying sometimes you are attacked in the morning.
Suspicious that this person knows.
I mean,
You're all fabulous, Monica. Everyone is.
Thank you. He's pretty adorable.
Yeah, you trained him well.
He was pretty good before I trained him, though. He came out of the package pretty good.
That's good. Keep him. That's a good one.
Quite glad.
Pull tabs and all.
Yeah. Burn the receipt.
We only have one more question left.
Oh.
At this point in time, I do want to thank everybody who's watching, especially the people that hit like and all that. If you want to help support the channel, this is the link. You can go to the link tree and donate. Anything that comes in the next 24 hours will be split among the three performers here. The top link in the link tree says buy me a drink. That money donated there will go to all the performers that you see on screen at this point. Jason McCullough says she was broken in.
That's perfect. That's what happens. Those are the best.
Exactly. I did have a discussion with a woman who would only date men who were divorced.
That's me. No, but that's other women too. But yes.
I only date. Yeah.
Sorry, I was just gonna say in my age, I'm in my 40s. In my age category, that's all. If you're not dating men who are divorced, you're not dating anyone.
I date people in non-monogamous relationship that already have a nesting partner. Like this is this is the minimum. Like I am too old for people that like are solo or don't have.
Did you just Danny Glover that?
Oh yeah.
All right.
Oh yeah. I mean, again, been there, done that, got the traumas.
All right, so you can donate that. The link is at the bottom, but I want to take a moment to mention that there is a live show coming up on. Is it 22nd, Monica?
Yes, 22nd, Friday, October 22nd. Under 2 weeks.
Freestanding room?
At the freestanding room in the Plateau.
Montreal.
Yes, in Montreal. Please come. It's such a fun show. Speaking of porn, which we were speaking about more momentarily, this is such a fun show. It is very sex positive. It's mostly about like the terrible comments that people leave on porn, the terrible way they tag things so that there's no way you could search for anything you want to masturbate to. It's a super fun, weird show, and I love it. And we have some really amazing guests on it. Elspeth Wright's going to be on it. She's a phenomenal comedian. Peter J. Radomski, also fantastic. Sareg Malaysian, amazing. So funny. So
Is it Malaysian? I always pronounce it Miletian, and he's never corrected me.
Maybe it's Miletian. I thought Malaysian. I don't know.
Is it Fellation? I heard Fellation.
It begins with an M. It begins with an M. But he
it's a new country I've invented. It's called Malaysian.
well, his handle on Instagram is the Miletian Falcon.
Oh, that makes more sense. But I don't watch Star Wars, so I didn't get it.
All right.
I didn't get the pronunciation. All right, Sarag, you tell me how to pronounce your name, and I'll say it right.
All right, and also to keep on track with all of your performances, monicahamburg.com. So that is there. I definitely am very, very glad and happy to have Monica on the show, as I'm always glad and happy to have a Kinky on the show. Kinky, do you have anything coming up that you want mentioned?
Well, I don't have the official date yet, but this little lady here will be back in the Wiggle Room first weekend of December.
Boom.
Boom.
There we are. Are you coming for a birthday visit?
Yeah, I'm actually going to have my birthday bash. The show's already sold out next Friday, so I cannot wait to see the artists. I'm really, really excited. But yeah, no, I'll officially be performing in the first week of December there's going to be a newbie show that's going to be announced, so I'm going to be in it. And
your next time here, you're actually going to be
yes,
breaking in a friend.
Oh yeah.
to the show. So it is going to be you and the Crimson Duchess, and that is going to be on the 14th of November.
Oh yeah,
Is
it's
that
going to be yeah, and it's going to be a night to remember, my loves.
boom? To follow both of these fantastic people, Miss Kinky Karma at miss.kinkykarma on Instagram and at monica.hamburg on Instagram. We have one more question to get to. You have time to write in another question if you want to get it answered. And you also have plenty of time to hit like. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel as I bring up the next question that we have here. Matching bra and panties, does it matter? Matching bra and panties, does it matter? Monica.
Clearly doesn't matter to me because I always forget to do it. I can't. Well, no, it's that I always forget to do laundry. So it's like whichever I get. But theoretically, they look real cute if they're matching. So
It depends. So for I love a good lingerie for two good reasons. The first one is ladies or people who associate with the more feminine side that wears usually those types of things. If you ever need to be in a situation where you need to feel like a boss ass bitch, wear the most sexy lingerie that you have, that you own, that makes you feel absolutely, completely that person. Wear it and go. The confidence will go through the roof. It's proven. It's one of my tried, proven, and those are my tried tricks where, whatever it's my muggle job or anything where I need to present myself in a very huge and charismatic personality, do that. It works because you know how good you feel and how good you look underneath those clothes, you know? Fellas, if she has a matching set, she really wanted to do it. Like, it was planned. Like, it's a plan. Like, you didn't persuade her to anything. And if anything, she persuaded you and made sure that you thought you persuaded her. Like, I mean, that's the two only reasons why I see we should have a matching set on us.
You know what? I've said this a million times before. There's nothing that is a greater compliment than undressing, like for me to be undressing a partner and seeing Kmart brand underwear or Walmart brand underwear, because that meant she went out that night not expecting to be intimate with someone, and I was that fucking charming. So that's a huge compliment. At the same time, I fancy lingerie may look nice, but it gets in the way. If there's lingerie, if you can wear lingerie that isn't panties and bras, that is damn sexy. Garter belts and stockings, all that. But I understand that these are not comfortable garments for most people. But definitely appreciate if your partner has gone that far for you to put them on. But anything that's easier to easier access is so much more fun.
Easy access.
There's a certain delight to being able to like tease and play with your partner before you get undressed or get to a place where you can be undressed. Mm-hmm. So it doesn't matter how well matching the bra and panties are. If they're frustrating you in that direction, they're not as fun. But you know, if you want to wear them for your self-confidence boost, do it. If you want to sort of dress provocatively for the fun, do it. Whatever makes you happy, it makes you feel more confident. And it doesn't hurt to practice how fast you can take them off.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well,
I think we have a question.
Oh, we have another question come in.
In the comments.
Oh, in the comments. So Richard Mullen is saying, what's the best way to introduce something new sexually to your partner? That is, I'm supposed to be in the hot seat there. I left myself on the bottom because I thought we were wrapping up. To take that question first, I just, the best way to introduce is with discussion and not in the heat of the moment. You need to broach the subject not while everyone's blood is up because somebody may feel that they are being pressured or manipulated into something that they want more time to think about. So if you broach the subject and you talk about it, it might require multiple conversations. And I don't mean badgering. I mean, well, I don't know about that. I'm not sure how I'd feel about that. I need to learn more about that. And then you learn together what they want to know about that new technique or something sexually that you are introducing. And that is the sanest and safest way, and the safest way for your relationship to do so, in my opinion. Monica.
I'm very much of your opinion on this. I think you just talk about that with the person before, at a time where you're not being sexual. Like what do you think about this and this? And okay, well, because I really like this, and have a nice discussion. Obviously, no pressure, and don't make them feel like they need to do it. But I think that's the important thing, is to have the conversation when you're not in the zone, and it's not an immediate thing.
Boom. Kinky.
Yeah, I completely agree. And again, I think I would put a lot of emphasis on don't put any pressure on the person, because people can be people pleasers. And again, on the other way around, keep having an open mind, because I mean, understand how vulnerable you can be asking for something new and all of that. So yeah, no pressure and keep an open mind.
Boom. I think great answers. I am so happy to have shared this panel with the two of you. And tune in next week at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Sunday evening for the next The Love Doctor live stream. It's going to be episode 77 we'll be up to. Please don't forget to donate. The donate link is just running along the bottom. These two amazing people deserve some of your cash. I am here with the fabulous Kinky Karma, the amazing Monica Hamburg. Check them out on Instagram. I'm going to throw up their Instagram handles one more time. And just as a reminder, so that's at miss.kinkykarma on Instagram, and monica.hamburg on Instagram. My manager has all the links in the link tree down below to my shows and his shows, so you can check them all out. And Sareg Maletian will probably be on Battlecom in the near future as well. So please, everyone, thank you very much for tuning in. Treat everybody as best you can. Love with your full heart. And protect yourself, because you are wonderful and deserve being protected. I'm the Love Doctor, and I love you all.